The Affordable Care Act may be going back to the Supreme Court after a federal judge ruled the entire law unconstitutional. Friday's ruling follows the Republican tax overhaul that changed Obama's individual mandate by removing the tax penalty for people who are uninsured. The Texas judge ruled the law cannot stand without it.
If the decision is upheld, it would eliminate protections for nearly 20 million Americans who are insured through Obamacare. Now, that could upset the entire health care system. The Kaiser Family Foundation estimates that 27% of adults under 65 have pre-existing conditions that could leave them uninsurable. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger is here with what the ruling could mean for your health insurance. Okay, first, let's talk about those who are covered by the Affordable Care Act.
The most important thing to note is your coverage is intact. This does not change anything for 2019. If you enrolled, you went through that window which closed on Saturday for the vast majority of states, you've got your coverage. There are 11 states and the District of Columbia. They have different programs. They have their own state exchanges. Those each have their own deadlines for enrollment. So if you are considering that, don't listen to this and say, oh, I shouldn't enroll. You absolutely should enroll. Again, coverage intact for 2019.
Because this legal fight could go on for years. What about those who are covered through work or private insurance and specifically have pre-existing conditions?
This is the big concern. And again, don't freak out just yet. We don't know how this is going to turn out. It will likely end up in the Supreme Court. But the thing about Obamacare is that there were two aspects of it. It had mandated that everyone should be able to get a health insurance, and that if you had a pre-existing condition, you couldn't be treated differently. And so now, if this is ruled unconstitutional, if it's dismantled, it's not the 20 million or so who have Obamacare who are impacted. It is also the folks who have pre-existing conditions. A healthcare expert I spoke with yesterday said to me his big concern is that because these changes are looming, people are really going to start freaking out about it, and they shouldn't yet, but this is a big concern.
Well, one of the other things that people forget about Obamacare as well is that it mandated that insurance cover lots of preventative care.
That's exactly right.
For children, for women, for lots of other expanded coverage in terms of the insurance umbrella.
And with all those different things that had to be covered, and you know, it's a list is lengthy. The other idea here is that if those things aren't covered, maybe we go back to a pre-Affordable Care Act era where people are not covered for as much. But not only that, we could see this actually dramatically impact people, especially with small employers. And these smaller plans are not going to be as expansive. I don't think it'll be as dramatic for the larger employers.
We also see that signups for the ACA are down 12%. How's that affecting things?
Well, I think this is a big problem because especially in those 11 states in D.C., they want enrollments up. Part of the problem is a slightly shorter period, not as much advertising. And I think that this has really conspired to create a bit of a difficult situation. On the upside, some states had expanded Medicaid, so some people fell in under that. But again, this is an incredibly important issue. I don't want to make everybody nuts about it because there's nothing to do today, but it is really going to impact millions of people.
So quickly, we know that a lot of state attorneys generals are already appealing. What happens next?
So now this winds its way through the court system. And as one lawyer said to me, I don't know how John Roberts is going to wake up the morning that case comes to him, but we know that the Chief Justice had ruled in favor of the large portion of the Affordable Care Act when the previous case got to the Supreme Court. We don't know yet. Again, important issue. Everyone, please do get your coverage if you are still eligible for your enrollment period.
Good tips, Jill. Thank you.
Sure.